In this video, I'm going to share 5 things you need to know before you use crystals, and specifically crystals to astral project. Okay, so if you're new to crystals, if you don't really know what they are, my name's Steph. I teach spirituality and all kinds of astral projection related things on this channel, so go and check out my other videos. But I want to firstly say that anything I mention, the links will be in the description, and let's just get right into it. So 5 things you need to know about using crystals to astral project, and then I will tell you maybe 3 to 5 crystals that are the best ones for astral projecting, the ones that you can use that will most effectively let you have more OBEs. So the first thing you need to know before you use crystals is that you need to be hydrated and you need to drink enough water. If you don't do that, then when you have the experience, it's going to be really dehydrating. You're going to feel like your energy is being sapped away. You're going to wake up or come out of the experience feeling very weak and dehydrated. So make sure you have enough water, especially if you're going to use crystals to astral project. Next thing, you need to have some kind of idea of where you want to go and what experience you want to have. You need to have this idea in place before you start learning to astral project and before you go into the OBE using crystals. Because like I've said in other videos, crystals are going to amplify your ability to astral project. They're going to amplify the energy that is already within you. One of the amazing things about crystals is that some of them at least, can amplify the auric energies, the chi energy, and the frequency that you're already giving off, that you're already vibrating at. So the crystal will amplify that. So if you have some kind of idea of where you want to go and what you want to do, the crystals are going to amplify that, but you need to have the idea before you go into the OBE. Number 3, you need to make sure that your energy level, your energy field, is clean and purified. Okay, now in particular with using crystals, you need to clean the crystals and sort of rid them of the negative energy that they might have been given by whoever gave the crystals to you, whoever sold them to you, or wherever you bought them from online. They can imprint their negative energy on the crystals, and that's going to make the energy go or become part of your energy field. They kind of absorb energies and frequencies. That's kind of what they do, as well as give them off as well in the form of frequencies. So you need to make sure they're clean. Very simple way of doing that, just run them under cold water for about a minute or so. You can also put them in salt water for a few hours or leave them under the moonlight. Number 4, you need to have a mantra or an affirmation or a kind of chant ready to use. You can use affirmations, you can use mantras, but it helps to just focus on one singular point, one thing you want to do, or one place you want to go in astral projection, in the astral plane. Have that in mind before you do it, and just constantly chant and repeat it to yourself while using the crystals to astral project. And number 5, you need to bear in mind that crystals amplify your energy and they make astral projection more likely. However, they also amplify the feelings of tiredness or fatigue, or, one of the most annoying things that can happen when you're trying to astral project is that you can just fall asleep, have a lucid dream or another type of OBE. So if you really want to astral project and you're using crystals to do that, you need to make sure that you're keeping yourself awake. You don't want to fall asleep and just go into a normal dream or a lucid dream. So keep yourself awake as often and as long as you possibly can. So here are a few tips, and firstly let me explain the best crystals to astral project with. So you have labradorite, and now this is a kind of like earthy blue type crystal which is really going to amplify your third eye. It's going to balance your chakras, and it's going to also help to push you further into the astral realm and the astral dimension. And then we have another purpley kind of crystal called ametrine. Ametrine is similar to amethyst but kind of different. What it does, it will help to elevate and raise your soul up. It's going to basically push you further into the astral realm and let you stay there for longer. It's kind of like a stabilizing crystal. And it also lets you come back out of the experience with less exhaustion. You won't feel tired. If you use this crystal, the ametrine, you will be able to astral project and then come back without bringing back any fatigue or tiredness or exhaustion. Very important and very useful to know. And then we have quartz, or in particular phantom quartz. Now this is kind of like a clear crystal, white colour, but what this will do is this will really open up your third eye and help you to see and experience more during the OBE. And this can also be used for meditation, as can many crystals. So what you could do for this particular one is you can meditate either laying down with the crystal on your forehead or just holding it in both of your hands in your lap at the same time as meditating, and you'll really feel the effect of that amplifying your meditation practice and making you more in tune with that base reality, that base awareness that you would get through meditation. And then finally I want to end with tourmaline. Now black tourmaline is kind of a bit of an ambiguous crystal. It's sometimes referred to as a stone, but it is technically a crystal for intensive purposes. And the reason that you would want to use tourmaline when you astral project, or at least have one nearby, at least be having one in your pocket or on you in some way, is that it provides protection, not just from EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies and electromagnetic waves, but also from negative, evil, demonic and malicious entities in the astral realm. Very important thing to have. It's kind of like your shield from these entities and energies when you're astral projecting. And so actually I would advise, if you have to just get one thing, one crystal, I would advise it to be tourmaline, because that way you'll be protected, not just from EMFs, but from astral entities as well. And it can help you to just raise your positive energies in general. So one thing I did want to share with you just very quickly is that I happen to have this, which is a black tourmaline disc. And this one in particular is to help me shield myself from EMFs and 5G and all kinds of dangerous radiation and frequencies in that way. And so I literally just hold this sometimes. If I'm meditating, I'll hold it. If I'm just walking around, I'll just have it in my pocket. It helps to just have it in the same pocket as your phone, although your phone should be on airplane mode when you're not using it anyway. And it's also good for astral projection to just have this nearby. Now I also have this, which is amethyst. And amethyst is a very powerful crystal which can help boost your higher chakras, your third eye and your brow. And I have this on a chain, a titanium chain, which I bought in a market in Bansko, Bulgaria. And then it's just this dangling amethyst pendant, which is very important to use for astral projection, okay? It's important also that it touches the skin. So that's why I don't have it usually outside of my shirt. I have it sort of on the inside, so it's just there touching the skin. And it really does help to open up the third eye, help you to get more in touch and in contact with that side of things. Dream recall will improve, things like that. So that one in particular, that's quite a unique one from a specific vendor. But anyway, so all of the links to everything I've mentioned in this entire video will be in the description. So I'm going to make another video explaining in detail how you can use crystals to astral project. But to start with, if you just want to get these crystals, get one of them and start doing this, here's what I would advise you to do. Okay, get some kind of tourmaline. I'll try and link to this one, but also some other ones in the description. Tourmaline is your protection, like I said. Have it with you in some way. Have it in contact with you in some way, whether that's just in your pocket, near you, or whatever, okay? Then you want to have something which is going to open up the third eye and the higher chakras. Something like amethyst, ametrine, these kind of things, and quartz as well will amplify the signals and the frequencies. So if you really just have a small budget, you want to get started, tourmaline, ametrine, amethyst, quartz, okay? Now, in terms of the layout and how you actually use them, there's all kinds of different ways of doing that. So a really simple way, this is just the absolute basic thing you could do. Okay, have the tourmaline around you or near you, have the amethyst touching your skin, so ideally on a pendant or a necklace. Hold the quartz, either one in each hand, 2 quartz wands, or one in one hand, and then hold the ametrine in the other hand. That's a basic simple way of doing it. If you are worried that you might drop them or you might sort of accidentally fall asleep, or you're worried you're going to drop them in some way, that's fine. You can just put them near your hands, or just if you're sitting cross-legged like this and you're projecting from sitting, you can just put them near your hands or by your knees. If you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, you can put them around you. If you have more than one, let's say if you have 2 ametrine and 4 quartz crystals, you could just place them around you at equal distances around where you're sitting. That will work as well. But do bear in mind you need to clean them of negative energy first, and the best way of doing that is to wash them under cold water for a minute, or you can leave them overnight in the moonlight, or you can put them in salt water for a few hours. And bear in mind, of course, that crystals are not the only way to astral project, and in fact they should only really be used just like any supplement, any aid. And I'm going to explain just quickly before you go away one final thing I would recommend, one supplement which I'm going to explain is quite a powerful one. But crystals in general, you want to use them only when you can already astral project, okay? If you can't already astral project, you shouldn't be using crystals because they're kind of meant to give you a boost once you can already do it. So what I would highly recommend you do is learn how to astral project first. I do have other videos about that on my channel. I'll try and remember to link them in the description, but if I don't, you can just check out my channel. And just make sure that you learn how to do it step by step. Really understand how it works and what you're doing, how to do it safely. Okay, I do have a course or an ebook course. There's going to be videos added to it probably by the time this has been posted, explaining how you can use several powerful techniques to astral project and how you can learn it step by step, even if you've never done it before. It's called the Beginner's Astral Guide. I will link to that in the description. I would recommend you go through that first. If you're trying to look at crystals, you should learn the basics first. If you already know how to astral project, then ignore that and instead listen to what I'm about to say. Nootropics are a type of smart drug. It's a cognitive enhancer, basically. Now, the main purpose of them is not to astral project, it's actually to enter what's called flow state. Now, flow state is an interesting situation where you're basically able to connect and synchronize both hemispheres of your brain at the same time. The corpus callosum, or the bridge between the hemispheres, is opened more than it usually is. We're usually either in the right or the left brain at any one time. Usually it's the left brain. So if you use nootropics, you can access your whole brain, or not your whole brain, but you can access more of both sides of your brain. Okay, so the most powerful nootropic I found for doing that, which is caffeine free, by the way, caffeine is a stimulant and it will harm your ability to astral project. The most powerful one I found is called Mind Lab Pro. And Mind Lab Pro is a powerful nootropic, caffeine free. All of the ingredients are very heavily researched. They are backed by science, they're backed by double-blind studies. You can see research and studies on their website. A link is in the description. I would highly encourage you to check that out. The Mind Lab Pro has been one of the best nootropics I've found for not just reaching flow state, because it's not just about that. It's also been useful for helping me astral project and have more experiences like lucid dreams. My intuition has opened up. My flow state is, of course, easier to access, and also astral projection has been a lot easier as well.